Well, late to the story, but even after all that time to think about this, I'm still not quite sure what Disney and Pixar's Elemental is really about. Let's get into this. Hey everybody, Bloodmoon Bobby here. Sorry I'm late to the story, just been having to deal with life lately. But anyway, Disney and Pixar announced their next movie, and it is called Elemental. This new movie is scheduled to be released on June 16th, 2023, next year, and it is being directed by Peter, forgive me if I'm mispronouncing his last name. Son, of Partly Cloudy and The Good Dinosaur fame. Same director. Deadline said that the film is about a fiery woman named Ember and a go with the flow character named Wade who live in a city where fire, water, land, and air residents live together. And they're about to discover something elemental that they actually have quite a bit in common. Pixar did release this concept art of what the characters look like. I'm guessing in this drawing we get a look at what Wade and Ember look like. I also noticed that they really weren't kidding when they said that the characters are based on all the different elements. I noticed that some people in the background are kind of look like, walking trees. So yeah, so I guess that kind of gives an idea of what the art style is going to be like. For more on this movie, I found this quote from its director, Peter Sohn, and this is what he had to say in terms of what inspired him to make the movie. Quote, "My parents immigrated from Korea in the early 1970s and built a bustling grocery store in the Bronx. We were among many different families who ventured to a new land with hopes and dreams, all of us mixing into one big salad bowl of cultures, languages, and beautiful little neighborhoods. That's what led me to Elemental. Our story is based on the classic elements fire, water, land, and air. Some elements mix with each other, and some don't. What if these elements were alive?" Given what Disney and Pixar have announced for Elemental so far, honestly, I'm not even sure if I have much of an opinion about this movie. As I was doing the research for this video, I feel like I was just listening to a person like kind of explain their upcoming movie, and I'm just kind of going like, yeah. Okay. Like, I'm in that sort of mindset where I feel like I'm listening, but I can't quite, get out a sort of, firm opinion or something to that effect. Based on, what we're hearing so far, I'm kind of getting the sense that, a lot of the things in the summary kind of remind me of things that I've seen in movies like Zootopia, Inside Out, and because elements, Avatar, The Last Airbender. I'm honestly not quite sure what to make of it, mostly because they didn't really talk about too much of the story, especially, what gets the story going. As my dad would say, he would often say that the most important element of the story is the conflict, because the conflict is what's going to be driving the story. So at this point, I'm just kind of wondering, what drives the conflict of Elemental? Are we going to see these characters go on some sort of adventure? Is this the kind of world where it's a neighborhood where not everybody gets along, or that kind of stuff? Is there a villain in this movie? Is there gonna be a Disney twist villain or something like that? So there's still a lot of details that Pixar has yet to announce, and I still get the sense that since the movie is just over a year away, that over the next year Pixar will be revealing more details through trailers and stuff like that. So I'm assuming over the next year we'll find out some more things about the movie. I don't need to know the entire story just yet, because if we find out the entire story right now, then what's the point of getting excited? I just kind of want to, know what's going to set Elemental apart as far as a story goes. Because at this point, I'm not even sure what the conflict is. I'm not really sure what drives the story. I just kind of get a sense of the characters and the art style, which I do like the art style. I just hope that, I kind of get a sense of what's going to be unique about the movie. Something that does give me some confidence about this movie is I do like a lot of Pixar's work lately, and Turning Red is a good example where, I'm glad they, left out a lot of the surprises from the trailers, because there's, quite a few things that happen in Turning Red, especially in the second and third act of the movie, that I didn't see in any trailers that were released before the film. So that was, definitely a case where I was glad, because it left for some really genuinely good surprises in that movie. And I was also talking to my sister about this movie, and she was saying that, she hopes that it's not too similar to other movies that tackle these kind of themes. Like, I do hope that it's not too similar to movies like, Inside Out. And speaking of Inside Out, I actually had a really similar mindset when Soul was first announced by Pixar. You remember the movie with Jamie Foxx and Tina Fey? Because I remember hearing about Soul and thinking, there were some things in the announcement that kind of remind me of Inside Out. But when I actually went and to go see the movie, it has a very different story. So I was actually genuinely happy about that. So I do hope for the best when it comes to Elemental. Like I said, I do like a lot of Pixar's movies that have been released so far. I don't need to know everything that happens to Elemental. If anything, that's the other extreme that I don't want to be in, where it's oh, now I know too much of the story. So it's not that I need to know everything that happens in this upcoming movie. I just want to know, how is it going to, set itself apart? Are the upcoming trailers for this movie going to be a lot of fun? Does it seem enjoyable and that kind of stuff? Good example, another good Pixar example, Lightyear. Even though that movie hasn't been released yet, I really liked one of the more recent trailers of the movie where they introduced more of the characters and gave them names, and it seemed very enjoyable. I hope within the next year, as Pixar and Disney start pumping up the advertising for this movie, that we get a glimpse of what's going to set Elemental apart. Or is it, or at least, at the very least, something that they make something that's very genuinely engaging. And knowing Pixar, it's probably also going to be really feelsy. So I hope they could do that within, say, the next 12 months as Elemental gets closer to release. So again, the movie is scheduled for release in theaters on June 16th, 2023. Let me know your thoughts down below. How do you feel about the announcement of Elemental? What do you think is going to happen in the story? Leave all those thoughts down below. And until next time, this has been Blood Moon Bobby, and thank you all for watching. Hi everyone, thanks for watching this Blood Moon Bobby video. Like and share the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel to see more of my videos, and ring the bell to be notified about my latest uploads. Don't forget to follow me on social media for my latest opinions and video updates. I hope to see you next time.